10,500 for my process, and then I also have to pay the donor $1,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sería 11,500.
You know, I am so sick and tired of this couple. Freaking sick and tired of this couple. There's nothing about their relationship that is secure. And when I say there's nothing about their relationship that is secure, I'm talking about how their emotions for one another is not secure, because their emotions for each other is all over the joint. Okay? When it comes to being on the same page with anything, they are all over the freaking place. When it comes to just being happy, they are all over the place. When it comes to priorities, they both have completely different freaking priorities. And when it comes to responsibilities, well, I mean, to be fair, that's the main one, isn't it? Responsibilities. And it's so annoying for me to say this, but Yohan has no responsibilities. This guy gives 0 F's about anything. And the crazy thing about it is that Danielle knows this, and it infuriates me even more. You know what? Before I even get into why it infuriates me.
I don't have $11,000 earmarked for this right now, so we have to figure out a way to pay for it, which basically means that I have to figure out a way to pay for it.
And that is my issue when it comes to Yohan, even when it comes to responsibilities, comes to priorities. And this is the thing that I really don't understand about Danielle. But I'm starting to understand even more and more and more and more about Yohan. Why would you want to be with someone that you know that financially cannot support you, and you know that if you have a child, he cannot financially support the child, and also on top of that, can't even financially support himself, which is why you cannot tell me otherwise. Yohan only sticks around for all of Danielle's BS purely because she is his money. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? He's living life la vida loca. You know what I mean? Like tax-free. I don't know if that really makes sense, but you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, this guy has had no job pretty much. And each time he has a job, some kerfuffle happens. Something happens because the guy doesn't seem to have brain cells to be able to either know how to set up a business so he doesn't obviously lose it. You know what I mean? And for some reason, he's moving from this job to that job, and then now, from last season all the way into this season, he still hasn't got another job. So it baffles me. Why would Danielle want to be with someone that can't even stabilize himself in a job? She's already been in a situation where she's had a child. She then became a single mother. Now, I can't remember if she's a single mother as in like she had to raise her child completely by herself, or if the baby father's even in the picture. But either way, though, she's had that experience of having to financially be stable for herself as well as her own freaking kid. Why would you want to be in a financial situation where you're raising a kid and also raising a freaking man-child, like a guy that has no priorities in life, that has no goals in life, that all he wants to do is just sit there complaining about, I should be the man in the house. Well, in my culture, this is what the man does. Yes, in my culture, women cannot do this. Bloody daddy daddy da. I could give a damn about your freaking culture, because at the end of the day, there's nothing about Yohan that represents man. None of it. So if he wants to live by his culture, and if I want to give a damn about his culture, he needs to actually represent himself like a freaking man, like I would imagine a lot of other men do in the culture, so therefore they can live by that standard or whatever it is, if you dig what I'm saying, right? So there's two frustrations. One, Danielle chooses to be with this guy knowing that he's not going to be able to look after her. And she chooses to have a child with him, knowing that he's not going to be able to look after her other child. And then also on top of that, he's just with her simply because, despite the fact that she's one head of a headache, she will happily still keep giving money. She may complain about it, but she keeps coughing up the money. Imagine paying 11.5K for a baby, knowing that after you have that baby, you're going to be spending thousands more just to look after the baby, and also thousands more to just keep accommodating this fool.
And I have some fundamental differences when it comes to raising a family. So it's going to be a hard conversation that we have to have.
You see what I mean? They're never on the same page. Now we're going to be talking about fundamentals. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I never thought I'd be one of these people that ever say this. But to be honest with you, if you are a man, and I think I'm targeting this more to men, not even women, just a man. To be honest, if you are a man and you are going to be setting up a family with a woman, right? Yeah. And you give nothing at all, no, and you are unable to provide, let alone even protect her, why the hell do you think you deserve to have a child with somebody then? so baffed. I'm so confused. Call me old school, man, but I'm very traditional in terms of, you know, like, I've got like a traditional but also a modern flipped version of what I feel like a man should be, right? You know what I'm saying? And how I feel a relationship should be as well, you know what I mean, right? And my only tweet about the old traditional way and making it modernized is that I genuinely believe that the man should be there to definitely protect and provide. But my little tweet is this, is that if the woman wants to work, and she does work 100%, whatever she's earning definitely gets contributed, obviously, within the relationship. So therefore, the money that I earn and she earns is our money. There's no such thing as I'm earning money, you're earning money, but my money is your money, and then that's it. That doesn't make no sense, you know what I'm saying? Okay, there has to be that brown way, like, listen, both our monies is together, you know what I'm saying, okay? But of course, we balance out in a healthy way. Now, that's just a whole other conversation. I'm just giving you the basis of what I'm talking about. In this situation right here, right now, this is ridiculous. And to be honest with you, I feel like when you first meet, if you're both working, each other's money is money. But let's say, for example, she then gets pregnant 100%, the man can take the responsibility of obviously now taking over the majority of the bills until further notice. Until maybe after she's given birth, or maybe a few years of raising the child. It really depends on how good you are financially, right? If you do what I'm saying, okay? But in this situation right here, let's not forget, if Danielle is the one bringing in the money, right? And then she gets pregnant, all right? We know that then there's the maternity situation. And we also know after giving birth, ideally, I imagine women want to kind of like have time to relax before they go straight back into work, right? My point is, how is this man going to provide for both of them once she gets pregnant and once she gives birth? How? But Danielle ain't going to be in that position. Point blank, period. And we all know that she's already in debt anyway, or she's bankrupt or something like that anyway.
Yohan has 12 nieces and nephews, so he's not ignorant to what is involved with keeping a child alive, but I don't think that he knows what's necessary.
You know, this is another thing that I don't understand here. It's not even about the thing that she says and whatnot, right? The thing is, for me, is like, why would you want to have a child with somebody if you already question every single thing about them? I mean, it's far from certain. Usually when you have a child with somebody, you have them because you are 100% sure that this person can be able to raise a child with you, and you're both going to be able to do it in a very, very good way. You know what I mean? I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know why people just don't have conversations about how we're going to raise our child anyway. I'm not saying that's not a conversation, but at the end of the day, if you feel like the way you both want to raise a child is completely different, well, then maybe you two shouldn't have kids together. You know what I mean? So, and again, because Daniel's already been through this whole rodeo, it is absolutely freaking seen now that she's choosing to still want to have a child with somebody, even though she knows that they're both on two different freaking pages. And I really hate the concept of some people have children just to keep a man, or vice versa, or whatever the purpose is, if you dig what I'm saying, okay? I mean, like, for Jovi, he wants to have another child with Yoha, so Yoha doesn't have to keep going out with her friends. Meanwhile, there's other women out there that want to have a kid to keep a man. And then sometimes there's people in this world who just want to have a kid just for the sake of having a kid, even though they know they're going to be a single parent. We live in such a wild, wild world, man. People should just be having kids purely because they're both happy and they feel like having a child, right, is something that's going to bring something, it's going to bring a newer value to their relationship. And they both know that when it comes to raising a child, they're both going to be on similar pages. You know what I mean? If not the same page. Now, we're experiencing people that are freaking bozos. Huh?
¿No te gusta como mi familia cría a sus hijos? Eso tú quieres decir.
No dice no me gusta.
¿No te gusta?
See what I mean? You know you got issues with the way children are raised, where he's from. You want to have a child with him. But here's the thing, with Danielle though, she has this mentality where, like, I'm gonna mold you anyway. I'm gonna change the way you do things anyway. I'm gonna point out the things that you guys do that I don't like, but I wanna make sure you don't do it with me. But this is the problem though. Each time she does that, Yohan's always gonna want to fight back because he's gonna want to say, hold on a minute, are you now disrespecting the way we are raised here? Are you disrespecting the way that my family does it? But Danielle doesn't give a damn about whether she's disrespecting you. She's never cared about that. All she cares about is getting her opinion out there so then she can flip it to control you. Her opinion is always the priority. Has he never noticed that? I mean, if you ask me personally, I've noticed that as a Scorpio trait. But remember, Daniel's a Scorpio. That's why I said that. Scorpios, allow me. Saying, okay? Yeah, okay, let's continue. Let's get back to being serious, man.
How are we going to be able to raise a kid when we can't communicate?
Well, the fact that you've even acknowledged that makes me even more annoyed that you still decide to have a child with this man, or at least plan to have a child. Okay. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, bye-bye.